We would be honored if you would join us.
And who might you be?
You stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder. I love you.
I know.
Hello and welcome to Frozen in Carbonite. This video is another deck discussion talk, and this is a really good one because this is one I've been having lots of fun with. Fortunately, the people who've been playing against it probably haven't been having too much fun. But I call it my troll deck, and it's been posted on Card Game DB, but I wanted to make a video on it because I've got the actual cards now. So here you go. So it is a Jedi deck, and it is 12 sets. You know me. I'll talk about each set as I go along. So let's start with the set that this deck's based around. So it's based around running the Canyon set. Now the objective itself isn't a must in this deck. It can be useful, but we're not playing it for the actual objective. But it's running the Canyon. So those who don't know what running Canyon, because it is the new set, it is got Luke's T16 Skyhopper, and this is the main combo card that I'm basing this deck around. So it's 3 cost 2 health. It's got target strike, but the main thing is the reaction. After you play an event card, deal 1 damage to a target enemy objective, limit once per turn. So that is a really powerful ability, and there are ways in the card pool to maximize the amount of damage coming out of here and maximize the amount of events you can play coming out of this. We'll get onto the other sets as we go along. So what else is in this set? So we have the T16 Skyhopper. It's a cheap unit. It has a gun and White Blast. And then we've got some crazy free events. So we've got Memories of Home, which is probably the most broken card in this deck. I'm surprised if this doesn't get an errata. It will be its action, place 1 shield on a target friendly unit, but its reaction is after you win a force struggle by 2 or more force icons, return this event from your discard pile to your hand. We all know how tough the Shistafan Wolfman coming back when you win the force by 3 or more and coming out as units. But this one coming back into your hand for you to put shields on your units is going to be really difficult to lock Jedi down with this card. And the other crazy card is Bullseye. So during engagement, target a friendly unit has target strike. That unit strikes immediately. So, and then it's got some target of opportunity. So there's lots of ways to do damage in here, and that's what we're going to be basing most of the combos around this deck. So I'll talk about the broken card Memories of Home. So what's the best way to keep winning the force? Well, we have to go for unfortunately the strongest light side set there is, which is May the Force Be With You. I don't have to tell you too much about May the Force Be With You because everyone knows it, everyone's using it, but it is the key probably to keeping that event card recycling back into your hand. So if you can keep doing that, then you've got the event to keep coming to trigger Skyhopper. So I won't go too much more into May the Force Be With You. So the next set to combo with the Skyhopper is Matter Undermined. So key card in this is Brainiac. So Brainiac's action is he gets to, until the end of the phase, increase or decrease a numeral on a target non-objective card in play by 1. His main focus will be to increase the damage of that reaction. So suddenly I can do 2 damage every turn I play an event card. So that is crazy. Not only is he crazy, but then he has his unhinged astromech droids. So there's, because I'm taking 2 off, there's 4 in the deck. So there's 4 White Blast. So, and they're cheap units, so they can get crazy. Signal Scrambler, because I want to be winning the force, and likelihood is I've got force users, I'm not going to probably be playing that as much, so that becomes an edge card. And then we've got Outwit. So Outwit is another 0 cost event, which is another opportunity to trigger Luke's T16 Skyhopper if I need to. It does have some use reversing the reversing the edge stack. So if my deck's got quite a few targets in, and I don't want their twists to take them away, I can play out wit so the targets do go off, even though the edge hand will twist. It still allows me to get my targets off, and I get the card draw out of that. So it can be useful. It's another way to trigger the Skyhopper. So main combo piece there. So what else are we putting in here in this deck? Well, this time I've gone for Embers of Hope, and then this is the weird inclusion, but it's a good one. So I'm going to explain away. So Embers of Hope. I can grab the cards. Tell you what's in this deck. So Embers of Hope itself is, while this objective is undamaged, your opponent cannot draw cards through card effects. So that's very good. So turns off the mouse droids and quite a few other things that that the dark side can do if I can keep it undamaged. So how do you keep it undamaged? Well, it's never been a consistent thing, but you've got these guys called moisture farmers. They're zero cost, so you can play them out for free. They don't do anything really. Got a white gun and they protect Tatooine objectives. So at the moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the deck. So there is a potential for these guys to protect quite a bit of damage. But what is the best card in this set? It's probably this one, Makeshi Training. So this comboed with Yoda, suddenly Yoda becomes a targeted striking machine, and Yoda in turn with Bullseye makes him even more dangerous because suddenly late game Yoda with targeted strike will be instant as soon as he enters the engagement, can take out the worst possible defender and knock someone else down all at once. That is strong. So Nikeshi Training or with Yoda is a great combo card. Forced Precognition usually ends up in edge. I'm not too bothered about the opponent putting the first asset. If I have a free resource, maybe I'll play it, but it's unlikely. And then there's Secret Guardian. Put a character unit into play from your hand at the end of the phase. If that unit is still in play, return it to your hand. It's another event. It's a one-cost event. There's not too many characters in this deck at the moment that I want to put in and put out, but it's there if I need it. There might be someone else coming up in here that this can be useful for, but unfortunately, because this doesn't put people into the engagements, it's not as good as some of the other like cards like Infiltration. So you have to be in a position where if you can have all their defenders tapped out or taken out, and suddenly Secret Guardian could pull a expensive character from your hand and put him into play. So maybe if Yoda's clearing the board, suddenly the power of this comes up. But keep that in mind. So call this the troll deck. So why is it the troll deck? Because we're trolling the FAQ and the restriction of against all odds and Last Warrior. So that's why I've included against all odds, because I want free card draw, and these two with this in conjunction with holding all the cards. So everyone probably knows against all odds. So it gives damage to every unit if the opponent has more cards in hand. This is great for swarms. Oh, what do we have? Swarming units, swarming units, swarming units. This could be putting out a lot of damage if I play my cards right. And how do I get my cards right? Well, first off, I've got dash. If I don't get against all odds out, I can't play dash. Or can I? Actually, if I've managed to play my cards right, suddenly Secret Guardian can put dash into play. And that can be, like say, if you play your cards right, because him swinging in after everyone's done their business, he can take out an objective on his own if he's lucky. I've got a Shifty Lookout, another swarm unit. There's so many cheap units in this deck. The only expensive unit at the moment is Dash, and I'm probably going to use him for edge more than anything else. And then the money cards. Holding all the cards, zero cost events. Love zero cost events. If they're going to, if I want to trigger this guy, need zero cost events. So loads of zero cost events on hand in here and more targets. The damage that this deck can do looks absurd if I play my cards right. So that there is a deck in itself. 10 sets, probably work really well if you compile it well. Of course, it does have some counters. If you've got all your swarms out, suddenly Moment of Triumph can wreck this deck. But I think if you can get some value out of this combo, even if it takes one objective out or something, I think you're going to get somewhere. And I have had some success, good success with this deck already. So my last two sets for flavor and a bit of jazz, I've gone with one survivors. So survivors can ignore the first unit damage on a Jedi character. So because this combo is so important and because Yoda can be so important, that if it is out, that being able to protect these guys be really good. So it's useful as one of. Then we've got Q-Ran. So Q-Ran protects characters. I've now got a protect loot combo with the moisture farmers. So if my objectives are taking damage and the tattooing ones, and I can protect onto the farmers, and then the Q-Ran can then protect the farmers, and then Q-Ran can use his reaction to do damage, more damage potential. Another combo that someone else told me about, Jarrett, he said Q-Ran works really well with Secret Guardian. So if you've got on the defense and they're 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 coming down on you with damage, they don't see a late Secret Guardian Q-Ran come in to then start pinging damage back, and if you manage to keep him alive before he dies, he'll bounce back into your hand. So that can be very useful. Q-Ran's got Sulon Sympathizer, 2-cost unit with a bomb. See, more blast. Shien training. If Tarkin's not around, very useful enhancement. I mean, if you're striking first with Yoda with his bullseye, if you can get Shien training later on in the game, then he doesn't have to worry about having to be struck back, because then he can bounce that damage back as well. I think Yoda in this deck is going to be the table controlling unit, but even better, he can just start taking people out. And what's even better? A double striking Yoda with forced rejuvenation, because things are so cheap in this deck. Mid game, if you can get this card, you probably have resources to play this and play lots of cards out, and it's got protection as well. So a very useful set as a one-off in this set to help it along. And the last set I've chosen, because I thought, well, just in case I don't get target striking Yoda, it'd be nice to have a target striking unit to use with bullseye. So I've gone for the hero's beginning. So from the core set, you all know him, you all love him, is Luke Skywalker. Target strike, he's got that great reaction, so him and Bullseye is loving it. We've got a Twi'lek, 1-cost unit again. If we can get him amped up with against all odds, he's dangerous. Jedi lightsaber, that on Luke or Yoda is trouble. And trust your feelings, again, that on Luke or Yoda is trouble and a resource. So there's only 3 resources in this deck, Dagobah Training Grounds, but as what I found is this deck doesn't really need it. You've got 0-cost units, 1-cost units, you can swarm out, you can get extra card draw. It doesn't need as many resources as normal decks need. I'm finding it fun to play, even though the opponents I'm playing against probably don't. It's got some sick combos in it where you can actually take objectives out without having to even attack. Because with this combo, you can do it at the end of your turn and then do it in their refresh phase. And if you've already kept the force and managed to put a damage on an objective, who needs to attack when you've got that combo going on? You can just sit back and take it. So that's the deck. Following this video, I'm going to tack it onto the end, is a game I had this week with someone against it, which shows you some of these tricks that I had going on. Please leave comments in the comments section. Message me if you want. Have a go with this deck. It is a blast, and it doesn't look it when if you look at all these sets together. You're like, I've never used Embers of Hope. Why would I use Embers of Hope? Well, there are some uses in it, and it works in this deck. So have a blast. Hope you enjoy it. And thanks for watching. Goodbye. It's better than the last one. Mhm. 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 Yay! I have, against all odds, running the canyon, and may the force be with you. Okay. Okay, so balance, nothing. Refresh, nothing happens. I'm gonna ditch a shifty lookout and draw a card. Oh, right. Let's start with a Dagobah Training Grounds. One. Let's put a Yoda up. 1, 2, 3. Put a shifty lookout for 1. Moisture Farmer. I'm going to move to the conflict phase. Going to send the Moisture Farmer into Enforced Loyalty. Would you mind? I will. Put 1 in. Pass. 3. Okay. Cards you got in hand? Right, so I will strike and do 1 bomb and 1 gun. Then I'm going to send Yoda into cloud cover. So he's going to do 2 bombs and 1 unopposed. And put a tactics on slave. Slave 1 elite. No, stick on the mouse droid. Yep. So is that 3 damage on the objective? Yes, it's getting 1 bomb, 2 bombs, and 3 unopposed. Yep. No, it's while you each unit you control gains a bomb while attacking an opponent who has more cards in hand than you. Yeah. And so at the because you had 2 cards. Yeah. Right. So I am going to have an action. Going to play Memories of Home. Stick a shield on Yoda. That goes in that, and then I'm going to go to the Force phase. Where I need my Force cards. And I will commit Yoda take that off, and then because of the reaction, I get this comes back out my discard pile into my hand. Forced since the dog goes to 2. So remember, I can only draw up to 5. Mm-hmm. And it was coming. Damn it. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Right, so I'll deal a damage to enforce loyalty. And that may come back to haunt me. Oh, so shield comes off. Drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Apply Skyhopper. 1, 2, 3. Target strike reaction after you play an event card. Deal 1 damage to a target enemy objective. It's a vehicle and a speeder. No. Mm-hmm. If I discard an event card. Certainly is. Right. I'm going to move to the conflict phase. I'm going to... I've got 5. I need to play 1 card. Right. Going to send Yoda into cloud cover. Okay. Let's put one in. And pass. Two. Right, so I'm going to have an action. I will play Memories of Home. Well, actually, I'll do the fake card first. I'm going to put shield on there, and then I'll play Memories of Home to put shield on Yoda. Right, and you get to strike. I'll take one on the shield. Right. I will then strike Yularen back for 2 damage. Put tactics on Miffle. And how many cards you got in hand? 2. So I'll be doing just 1 and 1 unopposed. That's that objective. So that's up to 3. Alright. Then I'm going to play Force Rejuve on Yoda. I'm then going to react with the Skyhopper to put a damage on Cloud Cover. I'm going to send the Skyhopper into Enforced Loyalty. Yeah, so I'll be doing, you've got 2 cards in hand. I'm going to discard an event card to give him 1 and 1 bomb. So I'm going to kill Slave 1 for targeted strike for 2 damage, and then blow the objective up. Right. And I'm going to go to the Force phase. Keep the Force. So win the Force, I get Memories of Home back in my hand, and then I pass the turn to you, and then I have an action in your refresh phase. Ready? I'm going to play Memories of Home on Yoda to react with Skyhopper to destroy Cloud Cover. And you still can only draw up to 5. I will focus the Shifty. Free. 1. Okay, I'll deal damage to Quat. Oh, because I won the force, that can come back to my hand. Use the shields. Right. Cards in hand. 3. Keep that, draw 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Brainiac out for 2. And then I'm going to have an action. I'm going to use Brainiac to increase Skyhopper's damage reaction to 2. Yeah, I'm going to play Memories of Home to put a shield on Yoda and deal 2 damage to Quat. No, well, this is limit once per turn, and that's limit once per turn. Yeah, yeah. And then I'm going to go to the Force phase, win the Force. That comes back to my hand. Then I have an action in your refresh phase. I'll have 2 actions in your refresh phase actually. Yeah. Oh no, crazy combo. That's what I've made this deck to see how much I can get it restricted.